everyone, welcome back to my channel. How is it going? I hope all of you must be doing great and staying happy. Before we start today's video, I request all of you that if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then please subscribe it and click on the bell icon to get notified about the new videos. Today we are going to discuss the lesson The Little Fir Tree from the book Marigold for Class 4 prescribed by NCERT. Main elements in this video are digital reading, explanation along with new words and their meanings. As the title indicates that this lesson is about a fir tree. So let us discuss about it first. It is an evergreen coniferous tree with upright cones and flat needle-shaped leaves, typically arranged in 2 rows. So these are cone-shaped trees with upright cones, and the leaves of these trees are flat needle-shaped, which are arranged in 2 rows. That means one on the right side and the other on left. Firs are an important source of timber, which means wood, and raisins, a sticky substance. They are famous for their use as Christmas trees. Firs are most closely related to the genus Cedrus, cedar, which are native to the mountains of Western Himalayas. So children, these are similar to the tree cedar, or in Hindi you may call it Devdar, found in the mountains of Western Himalayas. Now let us first of all read the lesson. The Little Fir Tree. Shetty, the magician, was returning home when all of a sudden it began to rain. It rained heavily. Shetty looked around for shelter and saw a pretty little fir tree. He ran towards it as fast as he could. Soon the rain stopped. Shetty was happy that he did not get wet.
Thank you. You have been kind to me. I would like to reward you. Ask for 4 wishes and I will grant them,
said the magician. The sad fir tree had leaves like needles and no birds ever made their nest on it. So it said,
I wish I had green leaves like my other friends.
Next morning, its wish was granted. Soon, a goat came along and ate all the green leaves.
Oh dear,
said the fir tree.
I wish I had gold leaves, as goats do not eat gold leaves.
When the little fir tree woke up the next morning, it was surprised to see gold leaves.
How happy I am,
it said. A man came along and stole the gold leaves.
I wish I had glass leaves instead. Men do not steal glass leaves.
The next day, its glass leaves shone in the bright sun.
How happy I am,
it said. At night, the wind blew. All the glass leaves broke.
Oh dear,
said the fir tree.
I like my old needle-like leaves best, for goats do not eat them, no man can steal them, The wind will do them no harm.
The tree went to sleep. When it woke up the next morning, it had all its needles back again.
Oh, I never was so happy.
A little fir tree. So children, now after reading, let us understand the lesson. Shetty the magician was returning home when all of a sudden it began to rain. Here, the magician, whose name is Shetty, was going back to his home one day and it started raining heavily. Shetty looked around for shelter and saw a pretty little fir tree. He ran towards it as fast as he could. So, he saw a pretty, which means attractive, fir tree and ran quickly to save himself from rain. Soon, the rain stopped. Shetty was happy that he did not get wet. Now, when the rain stopped, Shetty found that he was not wet but completely dry because of the fir tree. Children, opposite of wet is dry. Wet means soaked in water. So, the magician did not get wet. Thank you. You have been kind to me. I would like to reward you. Ask for 4 wishes and I will grant them, said the magician. Here, the magician thanks the tree and decides to reward it by granting 4 wishes. The sad fir tree had leaves like needles and no birds ever made their nests on it. So it said, I wish I had green leaves like my other friends. As you can see in the picture, the expression on tree's face is sad because it had needle-shaped leaves and birds did not make their nests on it. So, the tree wished for green leaves. Next morning, its wish was granted. Soon, a goat came along and ate all the green leaves. The next morning, the leaves turned green and a goat came there to eat all the fresh green leaves. Oh dear, said the fir tree, I wish I had gold leaves, as goats do not eat gold leaves. Now, the tree was worried and wished for gold leaves so that goat would not eat them. When the little fir tree woke up the next morning, it was surprised to see gold leaves. So children, what happened the next day? The next morning, tree had gold leaves and it was so delighted to see the gold leaves. How happy I am, it said. A man came along and stole the gold leaves. Now, a thief came and stole all the gold leaves from the tree. I wish I had glass leaves instead. Men do not steal glass leaves. So children, now the fir tree wished that he had glass leaves because people do not steal glass leaves. The next day, its glass leaves shone in the bright sun, which means the glass leaves were shining. They were shining very brightly when sunlight fell on them. How happy I am, it said. Now the tree was again very happy. At night, the wind blew and all the glass leaves broke. So what happened? When the wind blew, the glass leaves broke. Oh dear, said the fir tree. I like my old needle-like leaves best, for goats do not eat them. No man can steal them. The wind will do no harm. Now the tree is worried about its broken glass leaves. After using its 3 wishes, it missed the needle-shaped leaves because no goats would eat them, men would not steal them, and they won't be harmed by the winds also. The tree went to sleep. When it woke up the next morning, it had all its needles back again. So, the next morning, when the tree woke up, it noticed that the needle-shaped leaves were back again. "Oh, I never was so happy," said the little fir tree. And the tree gets very happy. So children, what do we learn from the story? We learned that we should always appreciate the things or qualities we have instead of being greedy for all the other things. Now let us move on to new words. First new word is pretty, which means attractive or beautiful. Sentence: Blue jay is one of the pretty birds in the world. Next new word is needle, which means a small thin object used for sewing. Sentence: Fir trees have needle-shaped leaves. Next new word is leaves, which means part of a plant. Leaves are part of a plant. Sentence: There are green leaves on a tree in my garden. Next new word is gold, which means a precious yellow metal. Sentence: My mother has a beautiful gold necklace. Next new word is stole, which means take someone's property without their permission. It is also the past form of word steal. Sentence: A thief stole my bicycle yesterday. That's all for this video. If you really liked it or if you are visiting this channel for the first time, then please show some love by sharing it with your friends. And yes, please don't forget to subscribe for such new videos. Thank you.